kept saying to people, it's very frustrating, why can't we find out what happens after Shostakovich and Prokofiev? And, you know, it's interesting now to discover that Wajnberg really is a sort of third man of Soviet music.
Certain major works, like his operas, have been premiered in the West. People are just hearing these things and saying, where have you been all my life, Wajnberg?
Nothing at all, never heard of him before, apart from knowing that I was going to go to the opera.
Not at all, nothing at all.
Not a thing.
I know nothing about the composer and I wanted to learn.
I was startled beyond words, really, that this excellent composer, as I thought, turns out to have composed works which are far more than excellent, which you can really call masterpieces.
He counted his being a survivor of the war as a blessing, and hence he thought that it is his duty to commemorate and remember these victims of war and the victims of fascism.
He was driven out of Warsaw, where he was shaping to be a really fine concert pianist. He was driven out by the Nazi invasion, couldn't go west, he could only go east, along with a lot of other Jews from Warsaw. His family, the rest of his family, didn't manage to make the journey, and he found out later that they perished in the camps.
Apparently it was through his first symphony, yes, that Shostakovich got to know about this young composer, and being very impressed, he actually invited him to come to Moscow.
His gratitude to the Soviet Union extended to a kind of loyalty which isn't all that easy for outsiders to understand. He was caught up in the paranoia of Stalin's late years, shadowed by the Secret Service for about 5 years, and then arrested and imprisoned. From his point of view, happily, Stalin died only a couple of weeks later, and Wajnberg was released.
The earlier part of the piece is very satirical, hard-hitting, sharp.
In the portrait, basically the subject is an artist, and this artist is poor, and with his last kopeck he buys a portrait in a market, and this portrait comes to life, and at a certain crucial moment disgorges money, and with this money he becomes a famous society painter. He completely forgets about his artistic ideals until there's a frightful sort of denouement or epiphany towards the end of the piece. He realizes that he's squandered his talent and ruined his integrity. This is very, very understandable music, beautifully crafted, very sensitively adapted to the singing voice.
Well, I certainly now will be looking forward to seeing the opera when it goes on stage. Yes.
Well, I should be very interested to hear the music.
Very intrigued. I'm looking forward to seeing the portrait.